Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of This Week in Geek. This is our final episode for the next couple of weeks. I'll be out and about for the next 2 weekends as I'll be attending the Venice Film Festival. More on that later at the end of the show. But of course, thank you for joining us live. If you are joining us live, thank you for listening to us on Spotify. If you are listening to us while in your commute or on the gym or wherever, however you're catching us, thank you so much. My name is Ren Geekness, and of course, I'm joined as always by my good co-host Zach Pope. How are you doing today, Zach?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Been a busy week, but I'm really good. So happy to be here.
Me too. And I'm excited to get started because our topic today, ladies and gentlemen, is our predictions for D23 2022. Actually, we could do this episode right as our first episode back because I'm going to be back the day before D23 starts. But to celebrate, to go out on a high note, and to focus on good things instead of the drama that exploded yesterday, I'm sure we'll have questions about that. We're going to focus on good things. And for that topic, we are actually going to pick up on a question that offers a ton of predictions going into D23, which is going to be exciting. We're going to be focusing on the Marvel stuff because we know for a fact they're going to be dropping huge MCU bombs at D23. We know for sure that there are going to be Disney centric announcements, whether that be Disney animation, Pixar, Disney live actions, whatever. I think we all know, we all suspect at least there's going to be a ton of announcements for that. But our main focus is Marvel. That's what me and Zach are most excited about. I'm speaking for myself, but if I'm wrong, please do interrupt or counterpoint. But and that's going to be their main event. That's going to be their main panel. Is what they have coming for Marvel. Is everything we don't already know from Comic Con. They're going to drop some bombs. And before we get to that topic, I do want us to get started with our usual tradition, and that is we get started with our weekly ranking. That's when we look back on everything we've watched this past week and share it with you guys, ranking them from worst to best. And of course, Zach, you're gonna get started this week. And if you guys want to share your weekly rankings, feel free to add it in the live chat, and we'll do our best to get to it and catch it. Or you can actively support the channel while you share your great weekly rankings through the tip link or the super chat. Those are in the description below. All right, Zach. Without any further ado, what do you have on your weekly ranking?
Uh, I only watched. I only watched one thing this week that I can talk about.
Okay.
So I have seen Lord of the Rings. I saw the first two episodes. I'm not allowed to talk
Mm.
about them. I can post social media reactions. So that's about it. I've not seen House of Dragons episode 2 yet because there's an issue with my account. So they're still trying to fix that. So that's cool too. So I only watched The Samaritan this week.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well,
What else can I say? It was fine. I wanted a lot more from this movie. I
it's
think it
very
could have been a lot
watchable, I
better.
guess.
It's very watchable. But
Yeah.
coming from Julius Avery, Sylvester Stallone, I
Yeah.
expected a lot more. And watching the movie, I'm like, I I feel like there's a lot missing. Like it feels like specifically in the action sequences, it felt like it should have been rated R. Like almost every action sequence,
Mhm.
I'm like that. It feels like it has a tonal issue where it didn't know if it wanted to be more of a PG-13 film or an R-rated film, and it's kind of in between. Like there's f bombs sometimes, and I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, so it's rated R technically almost, but I don't know. I don't know what happened with this movie. There's some good moments to it. It feels like a superhero film that would have came out in the early 2000s, and that's kind of a compliment and
Mhm.
kind of not.
Yeah.
But I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I'm just never gonna watch it again. Like that
Yeah.
is the definite. Like I'm just never going to watch this movie again. Uh, and that's exactly how I feel. So that's all I got. That's all I watched this week. I was really busy.
All right.
So and there's like no movies coming out, but I promise you guys in 2 weeks when Ren's in Venice, I have like 5 screenings that week. So
Me too. I also have five screenings that week.
I know you
But
do.
yeah, I watched a lot of stuff. Well, not a lot. I watched a normal amount of stuff, I guess. Um, Samaritan was not my worst of the week. The worst of the week was I watched, for some reason, I watched the third 365 Days movie.
Nice.
Uh, it's not funny anymore. It's not ridiculously funny anymore. It's just annoying and painful and boring, and it's the same shit all over again. It's a 2 hour musical montage with basically softcore porn. Um, and then it for some reason has an ambiguous ending where it leaves you hanging like, is there going to be a fourth? And if they do a fourth for some reason, I'm going to click on it because I know myself. Over that, I'm going to have the new Netflix movie. These are all streamer. Apart from the one thing I like this week, well, it's also streaming, but those are all streaming movies. uh, on top of that, I'm going to have the new Netflix movie Me Time with Kevin Hart and Mark Wahlberg. I remember a couple of weeks ago, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, if not, it was maybe last week, that I watched the trailer for this when I didn't even know it was coming out. And I was like, this is actually a good trailer for a Netflix movie. Even for Netflix movies I like, sometimes the trailers don't do anything for me. This was a good trailer, and this is a pathetic movie. That's going to be the word that I'm using because this doesn't feel like a finished product. It feels like they shot a first draft of a script that they put together as a vehicle for these two. And Kevin Hart and Mark Wahlberg are kind of stars that don't need vehicles at this point. Um, so I don't know what this film is for. I really regretted wasting time watching it. It's quite bad. Don't waste your time like I did. On top of that, I'm going to have the BJ Novak directed movie Vengeance. It's fine. Great ideas, very mundane, aimless execution. I don't think the last 5 minutes are as bad as people say, but they're pretty bad. There's an interesting culture clash with this blue state podcaster going to live with this red state Texan family that very vehemently believes in all the crazy shit they believe in. There's some fun. It's watchable. It's the very best I can say. It is watchable. All right. On top of that, I'm going to have Samaritan. Like Zach said, watchable. I expected more from the director. I expected more from the start. The idea is promising, but I don't. It feels like a placeholder movie in a lot of ways. The city itself, okay, it's a city in the brink of ruin. You don't get to feel like you're part of this world. It's not really immersive. Like the first act of this film is extremely choppy, like very choppy. The editing is atrocious in the first act. Gets better from then on,
What do you think of
and there's
the de aging?
it's I will say it's Sylvester Stallone versus Will Smith from Gemini Man. I want to see that
Yeah,
fight.
I
That's the
when I
fight I
tell
want
you
to
real
see.
fast, when I saw when it was kind of far away, I'm like, oh, that's not too bad. And then it got
Yeah,
really close, and I'm like,
yeah.
oh
It was
god,
like a
that
mid shot
is
with just
yeah.
just this. Yeah.
I was like,
Woof.
that is fucking awful.
Flashback to Gemini Man.
Yeah,
Jesus. There's an initial narration. The narration that starts this film, I'm like, well, why isn't this the first act? Why are you rushing through this? And there's a word. The kid is the one that narrates the film, and he should not have been the main character. By the way, it should have been Stallone. He's definitely co-lead, but you know, um, but he should have been the sole lead of this film, Stallone. There's a word in the initial narration, guys, and I'm like, this is what is going to go down, and that's exactly what it goes down. But it is a good idea. This film is riddled with good ideas, but because the script has them being so predictable, it doesn't put the effort in to earn these character beats and story beats through the story, through the narrative unfolding. It completely expects you to call and predict everything is going to happen, so it doesn't put the effort in, which is a shame. And the best thing I watched this week is the premiere of House of the. Oh, on top of that, I'm going to have She-Hulk episode 2, improvement on the first episode. This is really fun. Next week we're not going to be here to talk about it, but let me just know. I'm going to let you guys know next week's episode will probably be my bottom thing that I rank.
is it
And
because of
in
the end
number
credit
one,
scene?
it's because of everything. It's the same joke throughout the entire episode, and then the punchline in the post credits is also extremely cringeworthy. The best thing I watched this week is the premiere of House of the Dragon. Full disclosure, I have seen the first 6 episodes at this point. All the reviews are scheduled both for House of the Dragon and for She-Hulk up to episode 4. Um, yeah, we're in really good hands. I will say that. I've been talking to Zach here and there without spoiling him anything that he should be excited for the next upcoming weeks when it comes to House of the Dragon. And you guys should also be excited if you're already enjoying House of the Dragon. This show is absolutely sublime in characterization, in writing, in story. I am absolutely loving this. I couldn't be happier as of right now. So, with that out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, let's go into our predictions for D23. And I actually want to pick up on a question from GeekOEP because he shares his own predictions. And I want to go over with you, Zach, on a list format. We're going to go through these one by one. We're going to give our over or unders. And then at the end, we're going to give our top 3, like the stuff we know slash hope is announced at D23. Are you cool with that? Are you happy with that?
I'm fine with that. But what I will
right.
say is whatever G. Colby mentions, I'm not going to talk about. So my picks will be different. So like if he says
Okay.
Moon Knight season 2, I'm not going to talk about Moon Knight season 2.
Okay. But before you do that, we do need to bring up our audience's weekly rankings. And Tony Movie Chappie starts us off. For me, number 5, Beast. I am only going to be able to catch this after Venice. Unfortunately, I'm actually really excited, but it only comes out next week here, and I'm departing on Tuesday. Maybe if it's playing in Venice, I have a free day on Sunday the 4th because there's nothing playing that interests me. So maybe I'll catch it then if it's playing in a cinema somewhere. So Beast comes in at number 5, Jawbreaker at number 4, number 3, Dragon Ball Super Superhero, number 2, American Honey. I do not like this film, man, so I'm glad it works for you. Number 1, Hardcore Henry. I also do not like this film whatsoever, but I'm glad it works for you. All right. And I don't think I ever even heard of Jawbreaker. So the only thing I could opinionate on is Dragon Ball Super Superhero, which is really good. Eric Thorpe reviews. Number 1, House of the Dragon Season 1, Episode 1. Number 2, The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, Extended Edition. Number 3, Barry, Season 3, Episode 7 and 8. Number 4, DC League of Super Pets. Number 5, Vengeance. Number 6, Nope. Number 7, She-Hulk, Episode 2. Number 8, The Flash, Season 5, Episode 12. And number 9, Supergirl. You're still suffering through Supergirl. I commend you, my friend. I commend you. Denison Scott, number 3, Pretty Little Liars, episodes 7 and 8. Number 2, Harley Quinn, season 3, episodes 5 and 6. I watched episode 7 yesterday. It's really good. And number 5, House of the Dragon, episode 1. Excuse me. Yes, that's the right. Whenever you have a House of the Dragon number 1, that's the correct ranking. So I think that is it for our weekly rankings. Thank you all for sharing. And now, yes. So, Zach, let's get started. And you're starting us off. You're over or under DC23 announcement of Deadpool 3.
I'm going to see over. It's got to be. Because if it wasn't at
By the way,
Comic-Con, they got to do it here.
You can adjust instead of just saying an over or under for Deadpool 3, like the film announcement, like if they announce a cast, if they elaborate on director, if they announce a new character, something like that.
The thing is, we don't know how long their panel is yet. So that's a big thing.
1 hour.
Is it?
I
mean, they can get a lot done in 1 hour. I mean, Deadpool's rumored to be filming next year, like early.
Ryan Reynolds already started working out.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say over. I maybe that's just the inside of me. It's like I really want them to talk about this movie and kind of get me a little bit more excited for it because I'm excited, but I'm not a huge fan of Deadpool 2. So I want to know what they're doing with this. I want to know who's coming back. Are we getting Colossus? Are we getting Negasonic Teenage Warhead? Are we getting Cable? Are we getting Domino? There's been conversations, there's been rumors, but there's one actress that I need back in this, and that is Vanessa. If Vanessa's not back, I'm going to be honest, part of me will be a little bit disappointed because the best part of Deadpool is their relationship. that first movie really worked because of that. So I'm gonna say over, and I'm going to
Okay.
assume they are doing it. Like actually giving details, even if it's a quick thing. Like Ryan Reynolds comes in, and you know what? I'll say this: if he is there, we will also find out where else he is showing up. Whether it's just one other movie,
Okay.
a
Mhm.
couple other movies. I would not be shocked to see. And I don't know in the comics, 'cause I'm not too versed on them, but I would not be shocked if they're changing this up. I would not be if they announce Thunderbolts cast and he's in it. I would not completely be
Yeah.
shocked because the movie's supposed to come out before Thunderbolts. So, I mean,
I
maybe.
I'll
I
I
don't
will
know.
say this. The only thing I can find is that their panel is on Saturday the 10th at 10 a.m. on Hall
Okay.
D23. That's what they call it. There's nothing else scheduled for there. So for all we know right now, they could have all day.
It's the whole damn day. It's the whole damn
Yeah,
day.
yeah, it's the whole damn day. So, all right. I'm going to go a date, an official date, maybe a little bit like Ryan Reynolds will return, and confirming if Zazie Beetz will return, if Negasonic Teenage Warhead is returning, Colossus, maybe Vanessa. I'm going to go 55. I'm going to go not on the line, but I'm going to go very near the line. I'm going to go
Okay.
55%.
Yeah,
So,
I think there's a chance they don't even talk about it and then it just goes into
yeah,
production because
absolutely.
it's
Absolutely.
it's not going to be through the Disney banner. That's for it's going to go 20th
Oh, yes,
century
it is.
and
No, 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 no,
Marvel.
no, no. This is an MCU movie.
No, no, no.
Kevin
I
Feige
know it
already
is,
confirmed it.
but that's my thing. It's not going to be like you're not going to see the fucking Disney logo. Like it's going to
Oh,
be
I'm
Marvel.
sure they are. I'm sure they are.
You think they are?
Absolutely, they're going to embrace it and they're going to have fun with it.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I have no insider information, by the way. So yeah. All right. I'm going to do the next one first, and then we'll exchange. I'll go first. You go first, etc. Next up, and semi spoilers for She-Hulk, not for episodes 3 and 4, which haven't aired, but for all the episodes that are out by now. Okay. World War Hulk. 80%. I'm very convinced right now that they're building up to it. I think they can insert it somewhere in the slate of Phase 6. And I would really like to see that. I would really like to see this. At least the way I'm thinking of it, at least the way I'm imagining it, is a return to the Monster Hulk, a way to redeem the Hulk as he's been treated in the past few years. I'm going to go right now as strong as 80%. Now, again, we're doing this really early. The D23 is not for another 2 weeks. So in the next 2 weeks, information could come out that changes that. So this is just as information as we have, judging by the information we do have as of Saturday, 27th of August, 2022. So, World War Hulk, I'm giving it 80%. I don't think they'll give us a date yet. I think they'll give us the name, the title, and say Mark Ruffalo is returning. You all saw She-Hulk. He's going back to Sakaar, blah blah, and that's that. Because maybe there's something else that happens in the rest of She-Hulk that we don't know yet. And maybe they'll wait until the end of She-Hulk to announce this. But right now, I believe they're doing it at D23. Zach, what about you?
65%.
Okay, that's still
It's
good.
gonna be it's definitely gonna be called World War Hulk, like if they announce it.
Oh yeah.
But it won't be the exact same story. That's for
No,
sure.
it
But
never is.
if we get the wild, crazy Hulk, that would be fucking sick. I've seen a lot of theories going around that we potentially might see his son at the end of the season of She-Hulk, which I think would be really
Sakaar.
cool.
Sakaar.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say 65%, I think. I'm gonna go over, but just by a little bit. I don't think it's a guarantee because we don't really know what's going on with that Universal deal. Can they make a movie? Can they not? I do not want a
So
fucking World War Hulk
they
show.
can make a movie, but Universal has the distribution rights. They can make a movie
Okay.
that has the Hulk without
Well,
being
that's
the
my
main
thing.
star.
I
Yeah.
There was rumors going around that the distribution rights had revolved back over to Marvel because of this amount of years it's been. So I'm not
I,
100% sure on what
I
the legal.
mm,
They
if
won't,
that were
but
to
I
happen,
don't.
it would be everywhere. If that were
But
to
I
happen,
don't
it
think
wouldn't
they,
be good.
dude. I
That's
don't think they would push a movie out though if it
and
was.
and I don't think they have the rights like that have an expiration date, because otherwise Universal would push for a production to start, so they wouldn't lose the rights.
Yeah, I don't know. If
But yeah,
anything,
it
they'll
would
do it
be
under
everywhere.
Sakaar. Like Sakaar will be the main character, and that's how they'll
Scar,
get around it.
I got
Yeah.
it wrong.
So.
Scar is the
Oh, okay.
planet. Scar is
Oh,
dead. So
okay.
all right.
Scar. Okay.
Up next, X-Men or the Mutants. Please don't call it the Mutants. Let's just say X-Men. Anything about X-Men, like we have in our thumbnail? Do you think anything at all? It doesn't have to be movie. You can adjust it however you want it, but a casting and go over and around that, whatever.
So just anything. Doesn't even have to be a movie. Like they could
Anything,
just announce
anything.
that
If you don't
Wolverine's
think a
gonna
movie
show
has
up
a
in this.
chance, yeah, you can. No, 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 no. Like Wolverine is being played by X, and you go over and over on that, or Professor X has been cast over and over on that, or
I
both.
don't. I'll say this. So Deadpool doesn't count as a mutant because I yada yada yada. We're not counting Deadpool or any of that stuff. Just including anything
No,
else
no,
like
no.
reboots and remakes. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
this. I don't think we get a movie announcement. I don't think we get that movie. I think that movie will start off Phase 7. That'll be the next phase.
Okay.
That'll be the very first thing right after Secret Wars. But that doesn't mean we're not gonna have mutants show up. Miss Marvel is a mutant. So they gotta address this. They gotta bring more into it. I'm sure Namor is probably gonna be a mutant. They're probably gonna throw the mutant word in there. So I'm gonna go 55 on this. I'm not
Okay.
fully confident that they're gonna announce another like someone else, but if they do, I would not be surprised if it's Professor X. I think that's the one that
Okay.
you do, him or Magneto right off the bat. And there will be a couple of them leading in, and maybe they form the X-Men after Secret Wars or something.
I'm going to go like you 55 on an official announcement. Like, we are working on X-Men. They're not going to give a date or anything. They're going to say, we're working on X-Men and here's the logo, at least the first version of the logo. But I'm also going to adjust and add that they're going to reveal the cast for Wolverine. We've had a Wolverine Easter egg on She-Hulk this week. Eagle-eyed viewers will notice. And I think there's a really good chance we get a casting announcement for Wolverine. I think Kevin Feige is going to play coy, and he's going to say, you'll see him very soon, but he won't let us know where just yet. And I'm going to go at 70% for the casting of Wolverine. So 55 like you for an announcement, and then 70 for Wolverine himself. Over that, Armor Wars. So this has been announced. So now we would have to adjust this for a proper date. Like, where does it fit in the phases? I think so. I'm going to cheat a little bit on this. I'm going to say we're going to hear updates. We're going to hear any news regarding this at D23. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go at 65% for updates or news or anything like details on casting, on story for Armor Wars. Zach?
85.
85, right?
85%. Yeah, I think they're going to talk a lot about. I think not a lot, but I think they're definitely going to mention what's going on. I think it's going to be placed right in between Kang and Secret Wars. I heard that's kind of like something that involves.
Oh.
So
I mean,
I don't
Armor
know.
Wars is a part of Secret Wars in the comics, so it could be. But the way they've described this one so far is very different. But still, could be. I think there's a good chance of that. I don't think it's impossible at all. All right. Next, you're going to go first on this because I'll probably have a lot to say. Nova.
90%.
90%.
I think I'm going to manifest this. I think there's been too many rumors. I think there's been too much conversation. We don't really know where we're going cosmic next. I mean, we can assume it would be, Eternals 2, which I don't know if he mentioned that, but I think that's also going to be something where that's probably going to get announced. But I pretty much anything left on that fucking map, everything's getting announced in this. But I also think they're going to widen the map and show that there's even more. Personally, I think specifically in Phase 6. Phase 6, it feels like they only have like 6 more things to announce. I'm like, no. There's no way you only have 6 more things where your last phase has literally like 15 things. This one needs a couple more. So I think Nova's going to get announced. I do think it's going to be a show, though. I don't think it's going to be a movie. I hope it. I would rather it be a movie, but I really do think it's going to end up being a show. But I think we're getting a casting announcement. I think we're going to get maybe a director or a showrunner, and I think we're getting a release date. I think we are going to see Nova show up.
I'm going to go right on the line. I'm going to go at 50%. I think there's enough chance it could happen. I think there's enough chance it may not happen. Because all the rumors and speculation I'm seeing coming from, I haven't seen one coming from a site that has a good reputation. Not saying it hasn't come from it. I'm saying I haven't seen it. So yeah. All right. Up next, Wonder Man. I'm going to go quite low for this. I'm going to go 35%. And even then, I think it's somewhat stretching it, but then 25, I think it's kind of low. There's no number that satisfies me on this one. So I have to go below the line and go 35% on this one. Zach?
You're going to be surprised. I'm going 100. I think they're going to fully announce it. I think they're going to cast it. I think they're going to show everything. I think this is, and I'm not excited for this, like, whatsoever. I don't know who the fuck Wonder Man is. I don't really give a fuck to know.
So in layman's terms, Wonder Man is Wanda's first husband, who then gets almost killed in combat, and his consciousness gets moved to Vision's body, and that's how Wanda ends up with Vision in the comics. Which is clearly not what they're doing in the MCU.
No. Yeah, I still think 100. I don't care for this until I see it. But yeah, I'm thinking 100. I think there's two. This is another one with those where I've heard so much. There's something behind it. He's coming, so I actually wouldn't be shocked if he shows up in like another show first.
All right. Up next, the Okoye / Wakanda series. So, full disclosure, as much as we can fully disclose, I got some information regarding this show that I shared with Zach this week. And because I know for a fact that information is true and all the details that come with that information, I'm going to go 95%. Like you, I'm not comfortable in going the full 100 for anything. Okay, just so you know. So 95 is about as high as I can go. But for this show, I think we're going to hear quite a lot for that about it. So I'm going to go 95 for the Wakanda series because I think it's coming rather soon. Zach, what about you?
Same as you, like 95. The only reason I could see them maybe not touching on it is waiting till Wakanda Forever comes out, and then they do another event, or they do, because I think the Investor Day is a little bit after or right before Wakanda Forever.
It's like the week after. Oh, it's after. After Wakanda Forever? No, sorry. I was making a mess. D Plus Day is September something, but D Plus Day was the last year.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking like when they do their quarterly, investor meeting, that's probably when they'll be like, oh yes, Wakanda Forever made $3 billions in dollars. We have a new Wakanda Forever show coming out next November, starring yada yada yada, and that's what they'll end up announcing probably.
And this character and that character.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Up next, we have Shang-Chi 2. And I think we're going to hear about this. I don't feel as strongly about it as I do for the Wakanda series, but I would say around the World War Hulk area, so I'm going to go 80%. I think we're going to have a Shang-Chi 2 before the next big Avengers movie. So before the end of the multiverse saga, we've seen bits and pieces here and there. Since Shang-Chi, the film itself, we have had more and more Easter eggs and connections and ties to that movie, probably more than any other of the new batch that has come in since the end of Endgame. So I think Shang-Chi is going to be a very key character moving forward, at least when it comes to the importance of the rings. I think there's at least one character that we know so far in the MCU that we've been following at the moment in the MCU that's going to be more important than Shang Chi. But we'll get to that character in a couple of predictions. So just a tease there. So I'm going to go 80%. This is a very, 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 very high possibility. Zach.
Do you think same director for this or no? Because he's doing
Yes.
Kang.
No, no,
So
no, no.
you
I
think he's
think
going
so.
back to back?
I think because he's doing Kang, you have the same guy.
Ah, man, that's tough. It's a little bit tough for me to think because I do think we're getting a sequel. I just don't think we're getting the same director. And the only
Okay.
reason I'm thinking that is because, and I hope I'm wrong because I want Destin to do it. I just, Kang is 2024, right? Or is it 2025?
2025. I think June, summer, and then end of the year 2025.
Because it's like they got to just. So Shang-Chi would literally have to go into production next year, which probably would, and would probably release in 2024.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. I guess he could do it, but I'll do 85. I just think that's a lot. I think
Okay,
it's
you're
a
going
lot
higher than
on that,
me.
guys. Yeah, I do think we're getting the announcement. I'd be kind of shocked if we don't. I think we're getting the movie beforehand. I'd be shocked if we have to wait that long. But I will also say I will not be shocked if Shang-Chi 2 is more of a team-up film with other heroes, like a semi-Avengers film in a way.
Okay.
I don't know. But...
All right. So the next one is just one prediction for two things, but I'm going to break it down into two different things. All right. So first, the cast announcement for Fantastic Four. Zach?
65.
All right. I'm going to go back on my words that I said a few moments ago. 100%. This is happening. They're not putting it off to investors. They're putting it on their biggest stage. They're putting it on their biggest convention. They want the eyes of the world not only at this 23, but they want to brand D23 as the event to get the major Marvel announcements. So we are going to get the Fantastic Four casting announcement.
And they're walking out, right?
Ooh, are they walking out? I don't know, because like when it comes to walkouts, it depends. Like if they're available for scheduling, they could be shooting something depending on who the cast is. I'm going to go 55% on them walking out. I don't think it's a sure thing because again, it really depends on who is cast. Are they shooting something at the moment on the other side of the world or anything?
Yeah, and let me put it this way: the only reason
is Emilia Blunt still shooting Oppenheimer? Yeah. You don't know.
So the only thing I want to put is the reason I'm more towards the middle is because part of me is still kind of thinking you end Ant-Man and you give us the casting there. I know it would be fucking hard to keep that secret, but
because you also got to think they are dropping bombs in this. They've confirmed we left the big stuff for the 23. Like, what is the big stuff if not Fantastic?
So yeah, I guess I'll change mine. I'll go 95. All right.
All right. Up next, we have cast for the Thunderbolts. Now, here's the thing. I don't think we'll need the cast because most of the members of the Thunderbolts will probably most likely already be a part of the MCU. So I don't think we get a cast announcement, but we do get characters. And because the characters are already cast, we don't need to announce the cast. So I'm going to go 65 for the lineup of the Thunderbolts. I saw a rumor going this week, and there are two choices there that I'm like, really? Okay, I don't like those choices whatsoever, but all right. And full disclosure, I think Abomination is totally playing She-Hulk. He's totally tricking She-Hulk and the United States law division, the courtroom of the Supreme Court of the United States. He's totally tricking them. He's not rehabilitated. I predicted this in my review, but I think Val has already been there in the raft to talk to him about this team she's assembling, and this was their whole plan. So yeah, Zach.
75%.
All
That
right,
we get
a little bit higher than me.
we
All
get
right.
to know who's who, what's what, what's going on. If anything, maybe he only gives a couple.
Yeah, true. Could be. All right, because it could be a half and half, like new characters and characters that we already know.
Yep.
All right, next, Doctor Strange 3. I'm going to go high. I'm going to go 95% because this is the most important character so far in this phase. Particularly once Kevin Feige revealed that this is the multiverse saga, Doctor Strange's importance only grew. And I think they're grooming this guy to be like the de facto leader of the MCU. Not like the formal leader of the Avengers, but the de facto leader of the MCU. As much as Reed Richards and Doctor Doom are the lead protagonists of Secret Wars in the comics, I think this version, I think the MCU is grooming Doctor Strange and Kang to be the lead protagonist. Characters that deal with the multiverse in the forefront. One that's trying to protect it, one that is abusing its power out of fear for a very compelling reason, which is why I'm so excited to explore Kang the further we get closer to his debut. Zach, what about you?
95 too. I'd be kind of
All right.
shocked if we don't get another one leading up, specifically on the way it ended. I think Clea and him are going to
Yeah.
play major parts going in. I think they're the insurgents, man. They got to happen. They all got to happen for Secret Wars
It,
to.
and you know what? It just hit me. Maybe the incursion wasn't Stephen Strange's fault.
It might not have been. Who do you
Maybe
think it
Kang's
was?
already at play. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So. And maybe that's the next place he shows up at.
Exactly. Doctor Strange. Well, the next place we know is going to be
well,
Ant-Man.
After Ant-Man. After Ant-Man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That I agree. Eternals 2. You go first.
55.
55.
I'm not fully confident. And I'll say this, I'm not fully confident they're going to call it Eternals 2. It will have the Eternals cast, but I think I still am saying this. Harry Styles is going to be the lead. They're going to base it off that character. The kid has popularity, and that's where they're going to base it off of. Yeah. So that's where I'm at with that.
I'm going to go a little bit higher than you, but not much higher than you. I'm going to go 60%. I think we are getting Eternals 2. I think it's going to be called Eternals 2. I don't think it's one of the things they announce here just yet. Next up, Moon Knight Season 2. 80% for me. I think the teases have been there. I think the stars are literally and proverbially aligned for this to happen. Everyone wants it. Everyone wants to see more of Oscar Isaac. Everyone wants to see that side of the MCU. The creator is very much into this idea. People love this show, man. I know the internet likes to pretend otherwise, but people love this show. It's one of their best adaptations when it comes to bringing a character onto screen. So, yeah, I'm very excited for this. Zach?
70, but it's not called Moon Knight Season 2.
Oh, come on.
They can't. They submitted it as a limited series.
Well, watch them go back on their word. Now that they've been nominated, they're like, well, fuck
I don't
you
think.
then.
Yeah, but I don't think they're supposed
to. Look at Pretty Little Lies.
I know.
Change the name.
But they changed the rules after that season happened. So exactly. I don't know.
And now they're going to break the rules again. So yeah, I'm going to go very high. I'm very confident on this. Thor 5. What do we think about Thor 5?
40.
40. You're going to go below the line. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go higher than you, but I'm actually not going to go much higher. I'm going to go on the line. I'm going to go 50. I don't know why. I don't think it's a long shot that we get a Thor 5. I don't think it's a long shot to say Thor is going to be very important moving forward in the MCU, but I don't think we hear about it just yet. Particularly because this, but it could be because this is just like, it's the day after Thor Love and Thunder hits Disney Plus. So now that everyone can see them, in case people didn't go see it in theaters, Boom. Now here's Thor 5 with Thor 4 now streaming on Disney Plus and all that. And then, all right, we have 4 more things.
If they announce
And I
Thor
think-
5, Taika's not coming back. I'll tell you that right now. I don't think Taika comes back.
Oh, you don't think so? I think
No.
he is for sure.
I don't think so.
All right, next 4 things, and these ones are going to be pretty easy. I think you and I are going to agree very much on how high the chances for these are, because I wouldn't think we're going to hear a lot of new announcements for this. Well, maybe one of them, but we're going to hear small updates. We're maybe going to get clips or sizzles, a trailer. Maybe they're probably going to share the trailer for the world to see of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I'm going to go 90% on this.
95. They showed it at San Diego. I saw it. They're probably gonna either do a modified version of that trailer. They're probably gonna do a modified version of that trailer and show it. I think they will modify it a bit because you can clearly tell the visual effects weren't fully done, and I think there's some things that they were hiding. Like I'll say, like Kang's suit in that trailer was not the one that you expect. So I hope, because from what we've seen in concept art, he has that suit. So where is that suit? Yeah, I really hope they bring that in. And do you know the description for the trailer or no?
I know you're an Avenger. I've killed you before.
No, but there's something else
I
in
love
there.
it.
That's a great line. But there's another thing
they showed how do we say this? They showed the villain of the movie, which isn't Ken.
It's out there. I mean, I can.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
They showed MODOK. Yeah, MODOK. They showed MODOK.
Then I don't know what you're talking about. Hit me in the.
Oh, okay.
Once you're done making.
No, that was literally it. It was just MODOK because I didn't know if you. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So they're probably gonna show more of him.
Yeah. And it's not Jim Carrey, people. It's not Jim Carrey.
No, I know who it is.
I know who it is. I saw the trailer.
I think it came out. Oh, okay.
It was a horrible imagery. I more so heard the trailer than I saw the trailer.
Yeah.
But all right. Next, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I'm going to go pretty low on this. I don't think, if they talk about Guardians 3, I don't think we'll hear any new stuff compared to what we heard at Comic-Con. So I'm going to go 15%.
They show a trailer, they don't talk much about it. And it's the exact same trailer, just with.
But they showed the trailer at Comic-Con already, right?
But they're gonna show. I think they're gonna release it. I think they're gonna release that trailer.
Oh, okay, release it. Yeah, that I agree. And
I don't think they're gonna talk much about it though. Maybe they mention Adam Warlock showing up somewhere else.
Yeah,
maybe.
Zach, we have a super chat from Suck. Thank you so much for your support of the channel, man. Did you see the White Noise teaser? What do you think? So, White Noise is the new Noah Baumbach trailer starring Adam Driver, Greta Gerwig. It's going to be the opening festival of the Venice Film Festival. The opening film of the Venice Film Festival. I'm very excited for it because I'm a huge Noah Baumbach fan. I didn't think the trailer was anything particularly special or exciting. I thought it was a very standard teaser. Didn't take my excitement away for the film because I'm just already excited. I think it's a nice idea that I can't wait to see the Noah Baumbach interpretation of this idea. But as a teaser in itself, if I take out my knowledge of Noah Baumbach, if I just judge what the teaser gave me in itself, I thought it was all right. If I wasn't already a fan of Noah Baumbach, I wouldn't be curious about this film, to be honest with you. But as a Noah Baumbach fan, it left me very curious in regards to what is this film going to be. Zach, did you watch it?
I watched part of it and then I stopped.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest. Noah Baumbach, I love a lot of his movies, but his trailers never really get me invested. I like this trailer. I have no idea what the fuck this movie's about, but I'm in. I really like the poster too. So
the poster is great. I like the poster as well. All right, thank you so much, Suck, for supporting the channel with your great question. We're going to leave this up as we finish our topic, and then we move on to your live questions. And that's when we'll take this out. But thank you so much. It means a lot that you support the channel this way. All right, penultimate thing we got to go over on the Marvels. I think because you guys didn't get a trailer at San Diego Comic-Con, you're going to get a trailer here, but it's not going to be released. Well, you're not going to D23, so I apologize for saying it that way. People are going to get a teaser for it at D23, but it's not going to be shared with us. I don't think, at least. But I'm going to go 60% for a trailer. So yeah, Zach?
100% it's going there, and 100% they're getting a trailer, but it does not go out. It's only for
Yeah,
D23
exactly.
people. So,
All right. And last but not least, Blade. You start with this one.
they didn't talk about it at Comic-Con, so 100. I think they're going to mention it and talk about it here.
Okay.
They have to. It's going into production soon.
Yeah. I'm going to cheat on this one a little bit because I don't know what they're going to talk about, but I also feel very confident that they're going to give us updates here and there. Like, here's the cast, confirming characters and cast for the film. Maybe give us a little bit away of the story. Maybe a new logo because it's been 3 years since we got it. So I'm going to go 80%. I'm going to go 85%. I'm very, very confident I'm going to hear any kind of updates regarding this. All right, everyone. So without any further ado, top 3. Here's what we are getting at D23. My number 1, we are getting a director and cast for Fantastic Four 100%. That is a guarantee. After that, we're going to get World War Hulk announced. Maybe some details, but I'm pretty sure we're going to get the announcement, the logo revealed for it. And my number 3, it wasn't on G. Kobe P's chances. It wasn't on any of the things he listed. Daredevil. We're going to hear more details on the show. We're going to confirm release date. We're going to confirm cast members returning or new
Yeah.
cast members added.
Can I add to that? I
Yeah.
think they're going to announce that Daredevil is going to have everyone returning. Karen,
Oh, okay.
Foggy, but also Punisher and Jessica Jones. I think there's a
Okay.
reason it's 18 episodes. There's a reason it's so many.
Maybe. All right, and and every episode is 5 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, Zach, what's your top 3?
All right. So my number 1, the Halloween special. We know it's fucking made. We know it's probably coming out this year. We're getting a trailer for it. I think it's inevitable that we're gonna get something for that. Number 2, Midnight Suns. I think they're officially going to announce here that we are having a Midnight Suns movie or show or something of that nature, and that it's probably going to come in Phase 6. And third, but not least, Avengers Secret Wars director. We're getting the announcement of that because
You know what? I'm not going
to
allow myself to change my guesses, but that I should have called that one.
And the only reason I'm saying that is because I think they were trying to save Kang and especially Matt Shackman for D23. Obviously, that has now been come out. Kang came out literally like a fucking week after Comic-Con. Secret Wars, they absolutely have the director already picked. They absolutely already have the director picked. That will probably be, depending on how big the announcement is, who they got, that'll depend on how much they talk about that movie. But that could be a last minute thing where Kevin's like, yeah, we barely even talked about Avengers Secret Wars, but we do have blank Olivia Wilde directing.
You definitely don't want to talk about Olivia Wilde right now.
No.
I mean, depends on how the situation unfolds.
Do you have a prediction for who's directing Secret Wars? It's probably someone who's already directed a Marvel film.
I mean, I'm going to go easy on this. I'm going to say that the Russo brothers return. I know they said no, they're not doing it, blah, blah. I think there's a good chance they are.
So, okay.
You?
I don't want it to be Russo brothers, so I want a surprise, man. I want a surprise. I want someone who's never directed a Marvel film personally. But if I'm being honest, Ryan Coogler, depending on how burnt out he is from Wakanda Forever,
Ryan Coogler is a good choice. He's a good choice. I like it.
I would love for him to do an Avengers film. I would love for him to do an Avengers film. So,
all right. Without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to your live questions. And I can already guarantee you, depending on how we go through these questions, we're not going to be able to answer everything, but we're going to do our best. That is a guarantee. All right. Starting with Sodium285. Are there any superhero animated shows you don't like but everyone else loves? Easy. Teen Titans Go. Sucks. Teen Titans sucks. So yeah. That's mine. Zach, do you have any?
No, not really. I don't watch a ton of them. I only watch the good ones.
All right. Tony Movie Chappie, thoughts on Dan Lin possibly being the head of DC Studios? Personally, I think it's a very good choice to run DC Studios. Never heard of this man until this week when rumors came out that he could be it. So he's produced things here and there, but I have no track record to judge him on. To be fair, if you asked me this back in the day of what do you think of Kevin Feige being announced as the head of Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige had no track record as a studio had before. So, in all fairness, it would be the same there. So maybe he's a good choice, but I never knew who this man was until this week. So, Zach?
So I actually I've talked to people who've actually met him.
Okay.
They all say that he's a great pick. That he would be absolutely excellent. He was supposed to produce the Justice League Mortal George Miller film back in the day, and
I
he was
saw
on a podcast that really
I
just
heard.
the podcast. It was very very good about it. So I think Dan Lin is a great choice. I again
All right.
don't know him personally, don't know any of that, but it was always going to come down to we're not going to know the producer they picked. We're never gonna. This is going to be the first time we're ever
Yeah,
hearing their name. But from what we've
exactly. It's going to
seen,
be a guy where we're saying, who is that?
yep. And Alan Horn's worked with him in the past because before he was working at Aladdin. So, and some of the Disney live action stuff. So for me, this is obviously clearly an
And
Alan
Aladdin is
Horn
good, ladies and
recommending him.
gentlemen.
Yeah.
Aladdin is good.
And Alan Horn recommended him, brought him in, and it seems like this is the pick. But I don't know if you watched the John Campea thing. The thing that's apparently holding it back, if you read the article, is that he has his own production
No.
studio that he's in
Ah,
charge of and he's built up. And it's kind of like, what do
okay.
we do here? I don't want to leave that.
Of
So
course.
I'm going to say this. If you really want him that bad, just have them be a part of DC. I mean, just like how you have James Wan's Atomic Monster literally producing all of those fucking movies. Like,
Just like now you have a Kevin Feige production.
Yeah, exactly. So,
all right. Joe Fletcher. Thoughts on Ezra Miller saying he didn't care about the headlines against them and the crimes they committed, but was only concerned about the bad press for the Flash movie. He's my favorite word. In the words of Billy Butchers, he is a CUNT. Um, just this person saying that shows that they have no remorse over the actions they committed against others, over the violence they inflicted upon others, over any of the crimes they've committed through the years that we've learned throughout the years. And I honestly, when you read the whole thing, it's like, oh, this person thinks they are saying a good thing. This person saying they'll kind of look good by saying, oh, I just didn't want the movie to look bad. I didn't want a movie to suffer. They think they're saying a good thing. They're not. They're looking more and more awful the further this goes on. So fuck this person. I want this person to never work again on any field because I wouldn't want to work with this garbage human being. Zach, what about you?
I'm going to tell you right now, if they have not been, if they are the Flash still going forward, I will be fucking pissed. You can't. You fucking can't. I don't care how many apologies they give. I don't care. You literally already fucked the movie, like, completely. No matter what, the movie is literally tainted with darkness over it, and that is the truth. Like, it literally is. No matter how amazing this film is, there will always be a discussion around them now. There will always be that discussion of Ezra Miller is the Flash in this. So you can apologize all you want. And I hope that they go on this big tour saying, I am so sorry. And I don't give a fuck if it's real. Because reality is Andy Muschietti and that entire cast deserves way better. Deserves way better. Sasha Kaye, Michael Keaton, like they all deserve way better. You literally wasted their fucking time. Whoever's playing, which is probably him. Let's be honest, it's probably him.
I mean, he's the villain in real life. He's the real life of Reverse Flash.
So,
all right. Joe Fletcher, thoughts? No. Joe Fletcher, which memes do you prefer? Films that came out, if they came out in 2007, or Morbius memes? 2007, easy. Like, it's actually fun.
It's the best thing.
Yeah. Because Morbius, once Jared Leto and Sony got in on the joke, it's like, okay, it's not funny anymore. They've ruined it. Joe Fletcher, now that Transformers 2007's ending has become a meme, how long do you think until Twitter starts calling the Transformers movies underappreciated masterpieces? And
they already are.
They already are. They are?
Yes, they already are.
There's your answer, Joe. All right. Zach, now that the Breaking Bad universe has ended for now, say if we get more than 10 years, do you think we see characters from either Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul, such
Never.
as Jesse Pinkman? Okay.
Don't want it. Do not want it. I
All
do
right.
not want to see any of these characters again. You could do something in the world like the legacy.
Mhm.
You could do someone who's trying to bring it up if you have really good writers. But to be honest, I don't want it. It ended perfectly. Every character's done. Like they are done. There's nothing else left there.
All right. Zach, what are your top 3 characters from the Breaking Bad universe?
I have a video for that.
All right, go check out
Sorry,
Zach's
Joe.
video.
I just giving you
That's
got a
all right.
video for it. Need people
All right,
to watch it.
Joe has some rapid fire questions, which I think is going to be really fun. I'm going to go first. Let's not do the changing who goes first. I'm going to go first.
Here, do you want me to read them
So
for you? I have the questions pulled up. Do you want me to read them for you, and then you just
yeah,
say 'em?
sure. All right.
Okay. Ren, Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
Star Wars or Marvel?
Marvel.
Breaking Bad or Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones.
Star Wars sequels or prequels?
Sequels.
Back to the Future or Ghostbusters?
Yeah, Back to the Future. Easy.
Walking Dead or The Sopranos?
Sopranos. Easy.
Iron Man or Captain America?
Cap. Always and forever.
Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings?
The style of fantasy of Lord of the Rings is maybe my favorite, but the characters in Harry Potter are better, so Harry Potter.
Indiana Jones or Han Solo?
Oh, fuck you, Joe. Indiana Jones.
Homelander or Billy Butcher?
Oh, I want Billy Butcher to win, but Homelander is more fascinating. So Homelander.
All right, your turn.
All right, Zach. Marvel or DC?
DC Comics, Marvel movies.
Okay. Star Wars or Marvel?
Star Wars.
Breaking Bad or Game of Thrones?
Breaking Bad all fucking day.
All right. Star Wars sequels or prequels?
Sequels.
All right. Back to the Future or Ghostbusters?
Ghostbusters.
Wow. Okay. Walking Dead or The Sopranos?
Walking Dead.
Yeah.
I've never seen The Sopranos.
Iron Man or Captain America?
Iron Man.
Oh, blasphemy. Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings?
Same thing as you said. The exact same thing
Exactly.
you said. Like
Exactly.
that's the truth. Like literally the exact same thing as you said.
All right. Indiana Jones or Han Solo?
Indiana Jones.
All right. Homelander or Billy Butcher?
Homelander.
All right. All right. That was fun. Thank you, Joe. This is fun. Throw in more of these on other shows. All right. Tobes, how do you guys feel if Rudy Pankau and Alan Richton were cast as Johnny Storm or Ben Grimm in Fantastic Four? So I have no idea who Rudy Pankau is.
He's from
Alan
Outer
Richton,
Banks. He's from Outer Banks. He's
I don't watch
Nathan
this.
Drake's brother in Uncharted.
Oh, the younger version.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's the only I saw him on screen for 2 minutes, so can't judge it here. I don't see any. I don't see any character.
He'd be a good casting if from Outer Banks. I would if he got casted. I would be like, okay, that's cool.
Alan Richson, I know he's the Jack Reacher. He's into the Jack Reacher show as Jack Reacher. I only know him really as playing Raphael in the live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Fine. Okay, he certainly has the physicality, but I haven't seen the acting chops from him to play this character. I know he's also in that shitty Teen Titans live-action show, but as I said,
he died.
Oh, he did.
Cool. I think he died.
That's why he got Jack Reacher. All right, Joe Fletcher. Thoughts on the whole Olivia Wilde Shia LaBeouf situation? Thoughts on Florence Pugh not doing any press for Don't Worry Darling? It seems to me like there was a lot behind the scenes drama in this film. What do you think? It's too big of a thing just to answer this one question, but regarding the Florence Pugh side of it, good. Whatever is healthy for her and works for her, she will support this film. She clearly doesn't have intentions of supporting some of the people behind it. The Shia LaBeouf Olivia Wilde thing is just messy because Shia LaBeouf is no saint, and I don't think Olivia Wilde is an awful person or anything like that. I'm still,
but she looks like shit.
As I was.
It looks like shit with her.
She's looking very what's the word in English? She's looking very. Tell me your thoughts while I search up on the dictionary.
So my thoughts are, I actually heard back in when I was at Comic-Con, I had heard from a couple people there that it was a very messy set. Very, very messy set. And then they started showing me certain things on social media that was about the set. So
Okay.
I'm not shook. I don't think Florence. I think Florence Pugh really likes the movie. I think the movie's probably still going to turn out to be awesome. And everyone that I actually know, two people who have seen it and loved it. So
All right.
Florence Pugh, I just think she's, I'm filming Dune 2. I'm going to come to Venice. I'm going to do the thing there, and then that's it. And I think it's just she wants to be away from the drama because every question she gets asked is going to be about this.
Exactly.
And, you have Chris Pine over here with his flip phone because he doesn't have social media or anything, probably not knowing a single thing going on. And again, you said Shia LaBeouf's not a saint. I like Shia. I think he's a great actor. I think he's a great actor.
Oh, he's a great actor, but he's a garbage human
But he's not a great human being. I kind of understand him coming out and wanting to clear his name. I get it. He's already, people already look at him as being a piece of shit. He doesn't want to be looked at as already more of a piece
and
of
he
shit.
should. For all the things we know he's done, if he didn't do this, I think it's only fair that he gets the chance to say, "Hey, but this didn't happen the way Olivia Wilde is saying."
Exactly.
The word I
think
was
it's
looking
fair on
for
that.
is pesky and petty. She's coming across pesky
Yep.
and petty, and it's not a good look. Again, I wouldn't say she's a garbage human being. For all I know, for all I've seen.
Yeah, but it
even
doesn't
with
look
this
good on
information.
her. It
But
does not
it
look
is like
good.
I wouldn't want to hang out with you anymore, or
Yeah.
work with you for that matter. Even though
Yeah,
she's made an amazing movie and her next one looks as amazing, if not better. All right. Tobes, hey Ren, this might be hard off the top of your head, but what was your favorite duel from the Yu-Gi-Oh anime series? Mine would definitely be the epic duel between Yugi and Kab at the Battle City Finals. That's a great one. You also have the Yugi versus Marek duel, and of course you have the Yugi versus Yami duel as the series finale for it. Um, it's probably a cheat to go like for the last one, for the big one, but it is probably my favorite, the one between Yugi and Yami. So that's a good question. It is hard off the top of my head, but those are just a few of the ones that stand out. Yugi versus Pegasus to finish the first arc is also really fun. All right. Lady Erin, thoughts on Shazam 2 and Aquaman getting delayed? It's a shame and it's pathetic on DC. That company is in utter chaos. Aquaman is going to be 5 years in between movies. But Shazam is coming out near Zach Pope's birthday, so I'm happy for him. Zach?
Good, because now I get to see it in IMAX.
All right.
And there's a higher chance that I'll get a sequel.
All right.
I am more sad about Aquaman, if I'm being honest. So I'm a little bit more sad.
Me too.
We haven't seen a trailer or anything from that. And it's been, 5 years, you said? It's been 5 years?
It's going to be 5 years once it comes out. Yeah, because 2018.
It is a smarter choice to move it to December. There is nothing coming out that December. I mean, as of right now, there's not a Star Wars movie.
There's going to be.
There's no way there will be.
Lady Erin, you're going to go first on this one, by the way. What are your thoughts on the Resident Evil series getting canceled after one season?
I don't give a fuck. I watched clips and it looked awful, so I don't care.
Well, if the fan of the franchise doesn't give a fuck, imagine how I feel. I actually did watch the entire show, and I really don't care one way or the other. I was like, okay,
I don't know how you did. I really, the second I saw that dancing number,
it's not. Well,
I just,
it is awful. It is cringeworthy, but it's. Do I want to say it makes sense in the context of the show? I will say context adds to it. I will still not say it makes sense. But yeah. What are your thoughts on House of the Dragon already renewed for season 2? Well, if you watch our reviews for the first episode, my review for the first 3 episodes, we're pretty damn excited because it's an amazing show so far. Thoughts on Umbrella Academy getting renewed for a 4th and final season?
Can I start with this one?
Yeah, please. I was
so a lot of people shit on the last season. I actually thought the last season was pretty damn perfect. I love when you come to Umbrella Academy, the whole point of it is the characters, the family. That's what makes this show how special it is. The time travel stuff's fucking fun. Season 2 is still the best season, and it probably always will be. Mm-hmm. But like, if you read the comics, the best part about the comics is, again, the characters. And what do they get right down in the show? Oh, really? The comics are
hate
not.
the art style.
I do not agree with you, nor do I disagree with you. It's not my particular favorite, but I really
It's an
wanted a
acquired
lot.
taste.
Yeah. I heard if it got renewed, it would be its final season. So I'm not shocked that it is the final season. I think this is perfect. Every season has pretty much been the same thing. They fuck up and they cause the end of the world and they have to fix it. And I'm sure the fourth season is going to be the exact same. And I
There's
like
apocalypse.
Yeah, and I like that. I like that is the entire concept of it all. So I'm excited to see where it goes. And I'm a little bit sad, but I just hope it gets a good ending. I think a lot of shows lately have not had the best endings. Maybe one in here and there. But when it comes on Netflix, let them do what they want. I mean, let them.
When it comes to
That's my thought.
Netflix, barely any shows get a proper ending because they just cancel everything. But I'm pretty much with you. I think season 3 and 1 are very similar in their flaws and in their qualities. I don't think season 3 is any below par production. It's not a cut below season 1. I think season 2 is the standout. But I'll tell you this: even before this announcement, once season 3 ending, it always felt okay. Next season is the last season because they don't have much more to go. They don't have elsewhere to go. Like they now have all the information to know who is their friend, who is their enemy, and what they have to face off against. So, like you, I hope they go out on a good note, on a high note, because I like the show. I like these characters. All right.
Sure.
Lydia, what are your thoughts on the people that wanted to see Batgirl, who worked on it, but finding out that everything is completely gone? Yep, it's a shame. It's a real shame the way WB handled this. Even now, they're considering releasing the Scooby-Doo movie, but not fucking Batgirl? Are you joking? That entire company, the more information comes out the past few weeks, ever since they made this stupid, moronic decision, I've been pretty pissed, and DC only looks worse as the days go by. The company that was supposed to save them, and thank you very much, Warner Bros. Discovery, for granting me a chance to watch House of the Dragon early, but every decision they're making when it comes to their movies is moronic. Zach.
I don't know. It's just weird. The only thing I can think of is that the movie doesn't make sense anymore for the plans for DC that they have. Like that's literally my only reasoning for thinking why it's not, or in general, if they just like the budget was escalating so fucking high that they just decided this can't come out. Where Scoobs is only at like 40 million, you could release that thing in theaters and be fine, and get your money back. But I don't know.
I don't think you can, because even the last one didn't do 35.
But it never got released in theaters.
But it didn't do the money it needed to do.
I think it could. It's a Scooby-Doo movie. You market it a little bit,
exactly.
It'll make it.
Nobody cares about Scooby-Doo anymore.
I do.
I mean, okay, but you're not going to give the movie $28 million, which is
I would give it $10. I'd give it $10.
Exactly. That's my point. All right, Lady Aaron, Ren and Zach, what is currently the most disappointing movie that you've seen in 2022?
The Samaritan.
Off the top of my head,
that The Samaritan's mine. That was my most anticipated film. That was my number 10 for the entire year.
Honestly, I have to go with Jurassic World Dominion. I didn't like the last one, but I love this franchise. I think the idea of how the last one ending was so promising, and I like the trailers for this new one. And then we got the movie we got. So yeah, that's gotta be mine. Yeah,
I had a joke for this, but I didn't say it. I'm gonna put it in the private chat.
Okay. The Master of Gaming. What do you think of House Party 2022 and the Evil Dead Rise going to theaters? I don't know what House Party is. Evil Dead, I don't care about the franchise. I've never seen the originals. I mean, I've seen the original and I saw the remake. I didn't like the remake whatsoever. But Zach loves the Evil Dead, so what do you think?
This made my day. This made my life in every sort of way. Hearing that the Evil Dead Rise movie was going to theaters. House Party, I love the original. I fucking love the original House Party movie. I am not excited. It's a remake. They're awesome. The original's fun. The original's fun, man. The remake,
there was one.
I've heard it's dog shit. So that's fucking funny to me that they're putting it in theaters. But anyways, let's talk about Evil Dead Rise for a second. I love this. I heard this movie is incredible and awesome and super fun, and my friend who saw it said that he's super sad that he never gets to see it in a theater again. I am so happy that it did. I got high test reactions, so I am
Okay.
very excited to see this. But I've also heard if you don't like the Evil Dead, you're not going to like this movie. So it is very much Evil Dead. I love Evil Dead. It's my favorite horror franchise of all time. So count me in. I'm going to be there in April. I'm going to give this film $50 because I'm going to see it 5 times. So
All
there
right.
you go.
Geek, do you think when people say something lacks direction that they shouldn't prejudge something before it's almost over? Talking about She-Hulk. Yeah, I'm one of the people that thinks I think direction has to be clear. I think I think then it depends on the person to come to the end, and once the direction is clear, then the person can admit, oh, okay, so the direction was there all along. I just didn't see it. And a lot of people these days have trouble admitting when they're wrong, and I don't get it personally. Um, what I will say for She-Hulk is I think it lacks direction, not because it has a clear direction when it comes to Jen's story, but then it also wants to be a procedural, episodic, comedic lawyer show. And because of that, it feels like it lacks direction because it wants to go in this direction, but also that direction and that direction and that. So it lacks one cohesive, concise direction. And right now, it's not clear where they want to go because these pieces don't fit. And I think direction always needs to be clear. Intention always needs to be clear. Particularly in a show as simplistic as this, and I don't say simplistic as an insult. Simplistic is not an insult. I think some stories, some shows thrive in being simplistic, and I think She-Hulk could be one of those shows. So that's just me. I definitely don't agree that Phase 4 as a whole has been directionless. If anything, Comic Con proved that wrong. But then again, I saw the direction coming a mile away, other people didn't. And since Comic Con, we've seen a lot of people being stubborn and not admitting they're wrong. So, yeah. Zach.
I'm just really tired of like people attacking this show. Like if you don't like it, that's fine. But like some of those things I've seen about it's like get the fuck over yourself, man. Like and for me, it's like the show's not going to be for everyone. Like half my friends do not like this show just because it's not them. They don't like the humor. It's not their style, and that's fine. That is literally fine. But when you attack it for like other reasons, I just think you're like wanting attention at that point. And the whole point of the show, I don't even think it's supposed to have. And plus, I feel like every time we get a Disney Plus show, what did they say when WandaVision came out? It lacks direction. I don't get where it's going. I don't get this. This is weird. Then the finale came out, and you're like, oh, yeah, this makes sense. It's the same thing and everything. I think Marvel fans specifically are forgetting. Like, they expect Phase 3 stuff right now. We're not getting Phase 3 stuff. We know where our end goal is. That's where we're heading. And the whole point of this is now they have Disney Plus to further out the world more. Not everything needs to fucking tie in. Like Moon Knight does not need to tie into this. Fucking She-Hulk does not need to tie into this. What She-Hulk's really doing, and this guy at work that I work with said it perfectly. It's giving an added layer to the Marvel Cinematic Universe that helped me not be frustrated. He goes, it literally touches on things that I'm wondering about. And he said it like just the little thing of when she's looking at the news and it sees, why is there a giant man in the ocean? That is a big thing. And he's like, thank you for addressing something that I would wonder. And he said She-Hulk is very much from the perspective of people outside this realm, from our point of view in a sense. So honestly, I'm just really tired of like certain other things. It doesn't lack direction. I think people just always want the punch right now. They want what's going on right now. Because honestly, with you, House of Dragons first episode establishes a lot of stuff, but I have no idea where the fuck it's going. I have zero idea. I can make guesses, but you could argue.
But that's because it's unpredictable.
It's unpredictable. But that's the thing. Is the same thing as like.
She-Hulk doesn't feel unpredictable.
It doesn't, but it also doesn't feel like it lacks direction. It knows what it wants to be, and is doing it.
I think it does. Because it wants to be several things at the same time. All right, Lady Erin, what are your thoughts on the Disney live-action trailer for Pinocchio? Didn't see it. I don't watch second trailers. I've had enough. So, yeah. Zach?
You got a super chat, by the way. I didn't watch it.
I know. All right. And we got a second super chat from Suck. Thank you so much once more. These mean a lot to us. These mean a lot for the show. So thank you so much for supporting the show. With great questions, with great insight, with great comments, and thank you so much. We're going to leave this up for a while. Suck says, I saw Rogue One in IMAX yesterday, and they showed that Andor clip before it, and the clip looked incredible on IMAX. BS, I cannot wait for World War Hulk. Here's hoping we get World War Hulk. It sucks that I'm not in the UK because they played Rogue One in IMAX. They're going to play Jaws in IMAX. They're going to play E.T. in IMAX. I really wish I could catch this one again on a big screen because I love Rogue One. I don't know what the Andor clip is. I personally probably would cover my eyes and put my headphones on as not to see it before the show. But you got a taste of Andor in IMAX, which is something none of us is getting. I mean, I'm not getting it. Watching the Andor episodes, we're not going to get. So you got that experience, and that's wonderful, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you got a chance. Maybe it was your first time watching Rogue One. I don't know, but if it was, you got a chance to watch it for the first time in IMAX. But even if it was a rewatch, you got a chance to rewatch it in IMAX. I wish I could do that here. Zach, any thoughts? Are you going to watch it? Do you still have the chance over there?
Maybe I'll try and see it this weekend. I don't know. It's a little bit busy, so.
All right, understandable. All right, the Master of Gaming. Do you think Scoob Holiday Hunt will go to theaters? Not if they want to save money, because that shit will flop hard if it goes to theaters. The first one, I don't know why the first one cost 90 million to make, but it made 28.1 million dollars. This one is costing 35. So even if you give it, even if we assume it's going to make the same money the first one did, it still will be a flop. That's how much people don't care about Scoob. Zach, anything to add?
I disagree, but yeah.
Alrighty. Next, Master of Gaming. Zach, will you review Medieval and Running the Bases? Medieval has been fostered
No
by
idea
cocaine
what the
and
fuck
Running the
this
Bases.
is.
Okay.
So no.
Medieval looks good. I haven't seen the trailer, but it's a medieval movie with Ben Foster and Michael Caine, so I'm invested already. Running the Bases, I'm hearing for the first time, so I don't know. GKP, I know something from this recent episode of She-Hulk when Jen is at the bar and the TV showed Ally McBeal. I noticed that too, and for fuck's sake, I forgot to bring it up in my review. And I bring this up because the only people who've seen that show or heard of it would know this. Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man himself, was on the show as a supporting character for one season. So there's two RDJs in the MCU. Yes, there is. Just like
There's two, and Samuel
just
Jackson's.
like
They mentioned Star Wars. So
it
Mace
mentions Star
Windu.
Wars, and Tony calls Thor Lebowski, with Jeff Bridges being Obadiah Stane, and also apparently Claw was a motion capture actor when in the Lord of the Rings, because Tony calls Hawkeye Legolas in the first Avengers movie. So Claw, before he turned into a laugh of crime, was a very successful motion capture actor that I've met twice. So yeah. GKP, I asked a similar question about actors you like that haven't been impressing you recently with their recent film choices, and this definitely testified after watching Me Time. So my question is, do you just wish certain actors and actresses that you're a fan of just pick good roles, whether if they go outside their comfort zone or have a good script that plays into their strengths because you know they can do better? Yeah, I always wish actors I like are in better movies, including Matt Smith, who was in Morbius, but now he is playing one of the most fascinatingly complex characters I have seen in quite a while. He's doing a sensational job as Daemon Targaryen. I can tell you it's not a Daemon Targaryen heavy episode this weekend, but it is a Daemon Targaryen heavy episode in the next 2 weeks, episodes 3 and 4. Episode 4 is the best episode of this show so far. it is absolutely fantastic. Matt Smith is another example for me. Probably my prime example. But yeah, Zach.
No, I agree with you. I pretty much the
All
same thing that's off the top of my head.
righty. Geek EP. So Ren, when you go to the Venice Film Festival and watch Don't Worry Darling, fingers crossed I get it. And the cast being there with all the behind the scenes drama, you think it's gonna be awkward as fuck? Actually, I was going to say no, but actually I don't know because it's gonna be my first time in Venice. I don't know how usually the crowd is there, but from what I gather, from what I've seen, it is one of the most prestigious film festivals in the world. It's that in Toronto, and TIFF.
In
So I
Cannes.
gather, yeah, but Cannes is
Cannes.
pretentious too, so I don't count it. Uh, um, I think people are rather respectful there, so I think it's going to be smooth sailing. It depends on who she's there with, so not so much the press and the stars, but more like the tension between the stars. It really depends on who's there. I know Florence Pugh is going to be there. Probably Olivia Wilde is also going to be there, but I don't know. So let's see. Let's see how things unfold. All right. Lady Erin, I heard some people have seen the Flash movie and it got some of the highest test screening scores ever. Yeah, we talked about it for quite a few episodes. Every time we brought up the Flash, we mentioned that the test screenings have been very well received. So I still don't like what I've heard about this film. I still don't like anything I've heard about this film, but people are liking it, so somehow it is working out for them. GOP, do you guys think with a lot of negativity in social media, whether it's the big budget movies like Marvel, DC, or Star Wars, or towards actors thinking there's political agendas, etc., led to some not wanting to do worst of the year lists, as negativity and toxicity just increases every day in the fandom? Plus, not feeling the need to put down the filmmakers. I think that's part of it for sure. Yeah, because it all started around the time of The Last Jedi, because that's when it really exploded. It was already there, but it really exploded during The Last Jedi. So I think that's a big reason for it. Zach.
Pretty much the same thoughts. I try not to get onto the negativity. I think Last Jedi was the biggest thing though that kind of brought it about.
Yeah.
And people just think that they can now be like that.
Yeah, me too. Tony Movie Chappie, what are some movies that you think are overhated? Not overrated, overhated. Tough question off the top of my head, but the one that comes to mind, and I don't even think this film is anything special, but Uncharted.
Which one?
Uncharted.
No. No. I don't really have one off the top of my head. I don't really have one off
It's
the top of my head.
overhated. It gets way too much hate for a serviceable movie.
Should have been better.
Absolutely. Absolutely should have. Eric Thor, thoughts on the exciting news about WB officially going all in on Matt Reeves and putting to rest fans' fears of the Batman 2 not happening? I mean, good. A good decision they've made in the past 2 weeks. The best decision they've made in the past 2 weeks. Though the bar is not very high for that. But yeah, good. Good. Zach?
Sweet. That's all. That's really all I have. Yeah.
Absolutely. Eric Thor, thoughts on House of the Dragons premiere blowing away the numbers of every other premiere of any other show or new season of any other show this year? Can we safely say that the hype for the Game of Thrones universe is not dead? I don't think it was ever dead. Like as soon as House of the Dragon was announced, people were talking about it, so people were interested, even if they say they weren't. Good. I mean, HBO continuing to rack it up in terms of quality. So I'm astonished at the numbers themselves, but I'm not surprised that they keep on breaking records. Zach?
Yeah, I mean, good for it. I'm not surprised, like at all. I think a lot of people were interested, so good for them on having a great first episode. So now people are going to come back.
All right. Eric Thor, thoughts on the news of the villains being announced for the new Batman game, Gotham Knights, and I haven't seen the announcement of villains, so I have no comment on that. And is your worth being excited for despite not being in continuity? Is it worth being excited for?
Yeah,
Despite not being in the
without being in
continuity of the Arkham
continuity.
games. Yeah, I don't care if it's in the same continuity. Yeah, I'm excited for it because it's a Gotham Batman game,
I
adjacent
just
Batman adjacent.
I just don't give a fuck about the game. It looks like ass. So that's
Oh, you
my
think so? I
opinion.
think it looks great.
I think the gameplay looks terrible. I think the gameplay
No,
looks like
I haven't seen
10
the.
years old.
I don't watch gameplay.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
I think the concept's awesome. Concept's
I
great.
watch story and that's it. That's what I care
Oh,
about.
okay. Yeah, I'm not excited for the combat, and that's
All right.
most of my reason why.
All right, Sodium 285. What would be your top 5 Thor comic book runs you'd recommend? I don't have a top 5, but there's 2
Jason
runs
Aaron's,
I recommend. I
the
mean,
one you
it's
told me.
Walt Simonson who defined Thor in the early 70s, 80s. And then there's Jason Aaron and everything he did to redefine Thor in the Norse mythos in the Marvel Universe. And I hear the Donny Cates run is pretty good, and Donny Cates is a sensational writer. So I will recommend that just because I know Johnny Cates is great, but I personally haven't read any of his Thor work recently. But Walt Simonson, Jason Aaron, that's all you need. There's nothing else that matters. There are other good Thor stories by other artists, but it's Walt Simonson and Jason Aaron. Those are the only ones that matter. Sodium 285. Has anyone called you a fake fan of any franchise because you weren't as fond of something you loved? Yeah, all the time. But I have this thing where I don't give a shit. So, Zach?
I don't care. I
Yeah.
don't care.
Um, would I be crazy if I said the way a lot of critics and fans seem to have responded to Thor is kind of similar to how they had responded to the Burton slash Schumacher era Batman movies? Um,
Different.
I don't think you're
No,
crazy, but those were different enough. They changed directors, but they also changed actors. They changed entire styles. Where Thor is in one similar continuity. I don't think you're crazy, but I think people are crazy when they say that the Thor from Ragnarok was the same as the Thor from 1 and 2, but they say this Thor from Love and Thunder is a different one. That I think people are crazy, but not
I
you for
agree.
saying that. I just don't agree. Jigo what's a film that you were nervous about based on either the trailer or the director slash writer's previous work, but ended wait, I lost myself. But ended up surprising you? Good question. Off the top of my head, I do not know. Zach, do you have anything at all that comes to
No,
mind?
not really.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
either.
not really. Some of those
I don't know.
questions you
I
gotta
mean,
think about. It's a good
Game
topic
Night
for
is a
a
good one. Game
podcast,
Night is a
but
good one because the directors had done Vacation, but off the top of my head, I have no idea, honestly. And that one I just know because you suggested it. GKP, what's a recent popular show that everyone's raving about, but you haven't gotten the chance to check out, but still want to? For me, I'm laughing because I know my answer for this. It's going to surprise. It's going to surprise Zach. It's going to surprise everyone watching. Better Call Saul. For me, it's Better Call Saul, Yellow Jackets, and The White Lotus. The White Lotus is still a show I haven't figured out, but anyway. Zach, you go first.
Yellow Jackets. I've been wanting to watch it, just haven't. That's a big one. The Sopranos, The Wire.
No, recent, recent.
Oh, Yellow Jackets then is probably the most
Yeah.
recent one. I'm probably missing a couple, but
This show is from my favorite. The original work is from my favorite author of all time. It is in my favorite genre of all time. It's something I've always been curious about reading, and now that it's a TV show, I should be watching it, but I haven't because I'm just so overwhelmed with recording and editing, and that's the Sandman. I still have not watched this. I told this to a friend of mine. We were grabbing dinner the other day, and they started talking. Oh my god, you've seen Sandman, right? And I'm like, nope, I haven't. And they were like shocked. You know
if
those
it doesn't get
moments
renewed,
like
it's your fault. If it doesn't get
in
renewed, it's your
cartoons
fault.
where they're like where jaws drop from
Yeah.
that's what happened to my friend when I said I still have not started Sandman. So, and I'm not going to start it until after Venice at this point because I'm not going to start it like tomorrow because I'm spending most of the day out with friends before going away. But yeah, Mine is Sandman, and I really want to watch it, guys. I'm not going to review it at this point, but I really want to watch it.
It's really good.
To the movie Choppy. Now with Aquaman: The Lost Kingdom getting pushed back until December, do you think they recast and do reshoots with Amber Heard as Mera? Because Mera is a cool character. No, I don't. I don't think they will. I may be
She's
wrong,
barely in the
but
movie.
I don't.
She's barely in
Yeah.
the movie. She's in the movie for 10 minutes. I'll tell you that right now.
All right, final 4 questions, just in time. What physical media have you picked up recently? I haven't picked up recently, but I just pre-ordered Thor: Love and Thunder. I have Top Gun Maverick pre-ordered. In the last month, like it arrived just before I came here for holidays. Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness Steelbook and the Northman Steelbook arrived at my place. So I probably have to pick up Lightyear as well soon enough. Zach?
I actually haven't bought too much lately. I've been racking up my like physical video game collection more than movies, just because I have almost every movie. And we have a thing here in the United States called Black Friday, where almost every movie is like $5. So I'm just kind of holding out till it's $5, unless it's a steelbook I really want. So I pre-ordered Top Gun Maverick steelbook. I need to pre-order Thor's. I didn't like Doctor Strange's, so I just bought a different edition of it. So yeah, that's really about it.
All right. Demolition Scott, how can Halloween Ends go out with a bang? By making a good movie, which they haven't done for the last 2 movies. So yeah, I mean, the first one is all right. I'd overall go positive on it, but do a great movie, which they haven't done in the past 2 movies. So yeah, that's my answer. Maybe a cop out, but that's mine. Zach?
I just make it good. I'm sick and tired of this shit, man. I'm so tired of garbage. I hated the last one. I really liked the one before that, but I hated the last one.
Last one sucked. Demolition Scott, how do you feel about Halloween Ends going to streaming and theaters at the same time? Is this a good or bad idea? I think it's a recognition of the movie's quality, just like the last one was. And I'll say the last one still had somewhat of an excuse.
This one doesn't. I think this is absolutely fucking stupid. I think this is fucking stupid. Whether it's crap or
I don't know. I don't know how the last one played at the Venice Film Festival. Because that's the boost of confidence it gave me for the film. Like, oh shit, Venice accepted this film.
Well,
okay,
the first one played at TIFF. So,
but the first one, I didn't like it too much, but I can kind of get it. Like, I understand why hardcore Halloween fans, why the horror genre thrives with this film. The second one, Halloween, I don't. I do not.
Yeah.
All right. Final question. Demonition Scott asks. Let me just. Here we are. Flash coming to an official end at season 9. Your thoughts? It's about time. They've exhausted the running shoes. No pun intended. So yeah. Zach. Not many thoughts right now.
I don't care. I just do not give a fuck. And I say that in the nicest way possible. It should have ended 5 seasons ago.
I personally am happy to say I watched this show until the end, and yeah, I'm always going to remember it for its better seasons. Season 1, 2, 3, and some of 5, and that's it. All right, and last but not least, Chico AP got in with his weekly ranking late, so not a question. But number 6, Meat, felt like a bad Adam Sandler movie. Number 5, The Terminal List. I still haven't seen The Terminal List. That's another one. Episode 3 and 9, a bit of a slog. Number 4, Samaritan. Number 3, She-Hulk, episode 2, really good, but a little short. That I agree with. I forgot Dope Sick. I still haven't seen either. I started, but I never continued. Episodes 3 and 8. And number 1, Only Murders in the Building, episodes 8 through 10. I forgot to rank Only Murders in the Building. I forget every week, but to me, it would go in second place. So above She-Hulk, below House of the Dragon. That finale was so much fun. And that cliffhanger for season 3, my God, I cannot wait. So yeah, thank you for sharing, GeekOP, and that is it, everyone. That ends this week in Geek. We're going to take a little bit of a break in the show just because I can't do the show. I can't do the show from Venice and give you a good show. So that's why we're not doing the show from there. But I hope you guys miss us because we'll be back sooner than later. We'll be back on the day of the Marvel panel at D23. The show will start and will end before the panel. So maybe we'll talk about this again with updated guesses, with more information. Thank you so much for watching. Not tomorrow, Monday, I have my House of the Dragon episode 2 review ready to drop. All the reviews for the shows I'm covering right now are ready. So stay tuned for those. Ring that notification bell in case you haven't. I reviewed She-Hulk episode 2. I reviewed Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. I forgot to rank that as well because I can finally talk about it. It would be just below She-Hulk episode 2. And I reviewed Samaritan as well. Go check out those reviews and stay tuned for all the Venice coverage, which I'm so excited to give to you. I still need to get my tickets. I still need to get um, confirmed for each and every screening. But White Noise, Dead for a Dollar, Don't Worry, Darling, The Sun, Blonde, um, The Banshees of Inisherin, the Master Gardener from Paul Schrader. So many movies that I'm going to be watching. I have a few days that I'm watching 3 movies in them. I'm watching Tar as well. So many movies that I cannot wait to talk to you guys about, which I'm so excited for. And of course, continuous House of Dragon and She-Hulk. Zach, what do you got coming up?
Just chilling all over. There's not many movies coming out this week, so it's just gonna be a lot of smaller TV coverage and everything. Rings of Power, I have like 4 videos set for that this week. Comes out on Thursday, so look forward to that. My review can go up Wednesday officially, so there will be that. House of Dragons tomorrow, all sorts of things like that. So lots of fun.
All right, everyone. Stay tuned for all those reviews. Stay tuned to Zach's channel, to my channel. Stay tuned to my Instagram and TikTok because I'm going to be uploading out of the theater reactions during the Venice Film Festival. Not only me, but a few friends that I'm going with, including Luke Hearfield, which I'm sure you guys know. He's been on the show before. So stay tuned for all that. And until the next one, love each other, love the movies,